Hey, so it's already 7 p.m. and we haven't filmed anything yet. Mary's been editing all day. Yeah, so I'm gonna go see what she's up to.
I don't know why you have this on me right now.
Say why you gotta face it toward me.
Die.
Just say it from there.
I ain't gonna say nothing but die. Okay, I was not going to introduce this area of my life yet because lift tab to bend back the blue cover. Anyway, this area of my life doesn't give a shit because it introduces itself all the time, uninvited. Insert spray, pump into vial. I get bad migraines. Those are like headaches that make you want to die. I hate trying to do this. Today, I have one. So, I spray it twice.
One on each, and that's it.
That's it. Okay, today I feel, bottom line is I need to stay away from a bright screen. Yesterday I spent most of the day in this chair editing the video I'm about to show you. It's for this little web series Miles and I started called The BHH Show. I hope you like it.
Is that the shot you want? Because I don't think it's what I want.
Oh, what do you want?
A little closer.
Oh, you want that?
Closer.
Okay. You want to see?
That's right. So this is episode number 2. This week we have Sarah. Still not sure how to say her last name, but we'll figure it out. We reached out to Sarah because...
Actually, we didn't technically reach out. Ooh, the windows are like all up in my glasses. I put up this post in this female founders group on Facebook and was like, hey, yo, I got this crazy idea. Maybe somebody wants to help me out and be in this little weird show that I got going. She emailed me and was like, hey, I would love to do it. And I Googled her and I looked on LinkedIn and did like, you know, the obligatory stalking on the internet. And then I saw like bam, 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 all these awards, top this, 30 under 30 Forbes, Time Magazine and Business Insider, and just like went on and on. So she's got serious credit in startups, and she's also like one of the youngest VC investors, and she's a black woman. And if you know anything about the tech world, and especially the VC world, then you know that it is disproportionately a whole lot of white dudes. What I really love about her is that she's not quiet about the fact that she's breaking barriers and that more barriers need to be broken. So yeah, I'm super excited to talk to her.
Hello, Sarah?
Hi.
Hi.
If the door's open, you guys can come back. If not, I'll run down and grab you.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, it's open.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
open.
perfect.
Okay, here we go. Is she there?
Yeah.
There she is.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
I'm Sarah.
nice to meet you.
Come on in.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Sarah.
Nice
Come
to
on
meet
in.
you.
This is my apartment. I travel a lot, so when I'm home, if I don't have meetings and stuff, it's fun to work from home because otherwise I never get to see it. And with San Francisco rent, it's nice to actually be able to see the place where you spend all your money on.
Okay, so tell me about this place, because this is one of the coolest places I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's kind of like living on a boat. We even have a little porthole.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, literally a little porthole.
How did you find this place?
You know, a lot of Craigslisting. Most of the good things in my life have come from Craigslist. It was an older woman who was actually born in this house, and I'm sure people would have paid her double for it, but she was like, I used to be a young entrepreneur and I like that you are. So she gave it to me. This is actually where I do a lot of work. I sort of wake up and move about 2 feet.
Give me like a little tour of your desk.
Well, I keep pictures of all my friends. I have my laptop, which I could not live without. All of my business cards. I really like color coordination.
Right?
Gold.
This is gorgeous.
There's a lot of gold. And then a lot of books here and right there to grab and read if I ever get some writer's block.
Can you give us a sneak peek about Proday, something that you're working on now?
Sure. Yeah, so this is our first athlete that we're launching with for Proday, Delaney Walker, the #1 tight end right now in the country, who plays for the Tennessee Titans. So I'm actually headed down there in a few days to film the workout. We're super excited about it.
Are you a big fitness buff?
You know, I'm not really. I want to help people just like me who like working out, but sort of wish they never had to and they just already had a perfect body. Unfortunately, there's no magic pill for that, so I'm making the next best thing. It's funny because it's not a very tall building, but because we're on a little bit of a hill, I have an amazing view, and that way you can actually see a lot of, I think it's Russian Hill. Yeah, so this is a collection of stuff stolen from Instagram, artists I really like. I got this actually drunkenly on eBay. It's a spray painted Mother Teresa, or it's a spray painted saint. I don't actually know which saint, I'm not Catholic. That right down here is a friend's 6-year-old made it in kindergarten, and I saw it and I was like, can I have that for my art collection? So it's a Trey James original.
All right, you ready to answer some questions for us and drop some knowledge? Oh my God, y'all, I didn't even see how awesome that was. Okay.
So you guys are going to show me the question and then I'm talking here.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you the card, and this is basically your opportunity to just think about this as the audience. Here you go.
Name something you're obsessed with right now. I'm really obsessed with charcoal coconut oil pulling. So oil pulling is this like hot new trend that's actually like Ayurvedic and has been around India for 5,000 years, but we just found it here in Yuppieville. And so you buy your organic coconut oil, and then you buy activated charcoal, which is like the cool like black water you see at like ridiculous juice stores for like $9 a bottle. You can get an entire thing of it on Amazon Prime, and literally you just mix the two, and charcoal, coconut oil, and it makes your teeth so white. You literally just swish it around in your mouth. It tastes disgusting because it's coconut oil and charcoal. But literally, it's my favorite, like, beauty ritual right now. I'm obsessed.
Okay, I have a feeling that everybody is just going to demand you to do, like, your own web series after this, just so you know.
Well, I realized as I started talking how completely off topic that was, but
That's
this
that's what I'm obsessed
This is supposed to be, like,
That's what
a
we're going
random, like, really give people personal... All right, get in the shot. Come over here. Okay.
What are the best ways to win over a venture capitalist? Make money and be profitable. Those are obviously the two hardest things to do, but there's a trillion tips and tricks and how to get warm intros and how to follow up and the ideal deck to have and the slide length and the kind of font and the flat design. There's all these sort of hacks for it. And they work, right? Because unfortunately, there's not a ton of diversity in investors. So a lot of times they're from the same geographic areas, went to the same schools, look the same. They're all sort of like 40-year-old white dudes with like a little zip vest, the fleece vest with like the logo right here. So you can sort of figure out how to talk to that very narrow demographic and kind of game the system to get in the door and get them to like you. And that can be really helpful at maybe like the seed stage, right? The thing that's hard is if you're asking somebody for, let's say, $20,000 to $200,000, even $2 million, and they're a big venture capitalist and they like you and they think you're smart and they like your idea, they might give it to you. If you ask them for $20 million, you can't give someone $20 million because they wear a similar thermal vest as you, right? They actually have to have something there that's real. And for a long time right now in Silicon Valley, kind of leading up to this, like, is it a bubble sort of conversation, it's really been, can you show growth, right? Can you show more signups, more revenue, whatever? And I think that we're starting to switch, and it's really starting to now be about revenue and is it profitable, right? So if the unit economics are such that you're acquiring 100 new customers a week, but you're never going to break even, you're never going to make money on them, you're always losing money from them, that's a bad business, right? I can sell anybody $1 if I sell it for 90 cents. The real question is, can I sell somebody $1 for $1.05 and actually make a profit?
Have you felt like you've had to adjust your personality a little bit to conform to game the system? And if so, like, how do you balance conforming a bit to like staying authentic?
There's a limit, right? If the average venture capitalist is a 40-year-old white dude, and the average entrepreneur who gets VC funding is a 25-year-old white dude, I show up, and no matter what I do, I'm pretty obviously not white or a dude. You do see people who come out to Silicon Valley who maybe love wearing a suit, but the guy says, look, I know that I'm going to be more successful if I wear a hoodie. Some women are able to do that a little bit by kind of trying to pretend to be one of the guys. The thing is, it doesn't really work, right? Anybody with eyes and ears kind of knows what you look like, and you know, they can quickly find out what school you went to and whatever. So there's not really a great way to pass. You can never out white dude a white dude if you're not a white dude. What you can do is be yourself and be something interesting and unique and different that makes people say, you know, even if they're not looking for diversity explicitly, make them say, oh, this person has a different worldview, this person's finding a different customer, you know, this person is doing something differently that seems like it's really going to be successful that I never would have thought of, and nobody else that's coming to me seems to have thought of. And it's sometimes it's explicitly around the diversity and the fact that you're not the same as everybody else they're seeing, but a lot of times it just comes from, you know, you're much more uniquely poised to find some cool business models or interesting paths to growth or profitability if you have a different perspective than everybody else who's starting companies. What are some quick tips on hiring better? You should never hire someone directly under you who is too much like you, right? So if they went to the same school, are the same race and the same gender, you're probably not casting a wide enough net to find the best candidate. You're just sort of falling at some level into sort of a default, hey, this person's like me and I'm good, so they must be good. If you have a bunch of people who look the same, went to the same schools, have the same experiences, you're not going to have a very well-rounded product unless your product exists only to serve people from a certain gender, race, school, geographic area, whatever, right? Typically, if you're starting a startup and you're taking venture capital money or outside capital, you're not really trying to build a lifestyle business. And I think it's really hard to build a business that only addresses one very small segment of the population and not have it be a lifestyle business. Typically, if you really want to build something that scales, you need a bunch of different kind of people working with you. And the best way to do that is to make it a part of the requirements of hiring, the same way that you might make knowing a certain programming language or having a college degree. Hire people that you're not totally comfortable with, right? Building a company isn't always fun, and there are uncomfortable moments. And if you hire people that aren't going to be able to give you a counterpoint and help you through those uncomfortable moments, you just kind of get stuck.
That's fine. Or a reality check, whichever way you want to take it.
How do you know whether you're meant to be an entrepreneur? Being an entrepreneur is a terrible way to make a lot of money. Being an entrepreneur is a great way to never sleep and frequently run out of money, with the possibility that somewhere in the future your company might sell and you might own enough of it and you might stay through an earnout and the stock that you get from the acquiring company might be worth something, so you'll actually make a little bit of money. Year over year, terrible way to make money. But people do it anyway. And the question kind of is why, right? Like, hey, this is so terrible. Why do I want to keep doing it? And that's something I ask myself. The personality traits that drive somebody to be an entrepreneur, one, if people call you unmanageable a lot, but you're really good at your job, that's a good sign that you'd be a good entrepreneur, right? And we all know somebody like that, or we are like that, where you get a sales quota and you double it. You know, you're an iOS developer. Hey, you have a month to build this. You have it built in a week. But for some reason, like your boss never really likes you that much, that's probably a good sign that you're the type of personality who might be better on their own. It might mean that you should start your own company. And the reason that, you know, things don't quite work for you and you work for somebody else is because you're a better boss than the boss you work with. I think that the qualities you need to be an entrepreneur, you need to have a ton of resilience. You need to just have an iron stomach, right? If every time something goes wrong, you get worried, you're going to be a terrible entrepreneur because the anxiety will kill you. You have to get to a point where literally the ground is splitting and like there are arrows raining from the heavens and everything is on fire, including your own hair. And you're like, no, it's probably gonna be fine. Yeah, I mean, here's what I think. I think it's gonna be fine. Like, this is what we're gonna do. And you just develop this sort of calm within a storm. It's like you're in the middle of a tornado. You have to be in the middle of the tornado, able to clearly look at it, see the direction it's going in, and figure out how to maximize that, or honestly, sometimes just how to not die so that you can get up tomorrow and do something else. If you are the person who's delayed at the airport and you have diarrhea and you're hungover and everything is terrible and your wallet got lost and this is like a meltdown for you, it's going to be hard to run a company. If you figure out how to parlay that so that you're in first class being escorted in a wheelchair through TSA, you're going to be a great entrepreneur, right? And most of us, it's somewhere in the middle. But it's really sort of being resilient and creative problem solving and understanding that. So take your pulse. Are you alive? Great. So there's going to be another way. You can figure something out. What's the next step? Move through the situation. If you're the type of person who often shuts down and says, this is it, this is the end, I can't do it, everything's terrible, nothing's ever going to be good again, then it's going to be really hard to run a company because 99.9% of the time you're dealing with disasters.
I mean, I'm sure you've done like plenty of interviews before, but I just feel like people are going to be like, we love her. Seriously.
Thank you. What do you want your legacy to be? Well, besides the billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars that I will make and then spend and then leave to various charities, the thing that I really want to do, especially right now in the startup world, in the technology world, in the investing world, is prove that we've only just started to scratch the surface in terms of who we welcome as an entrepreneur, who we fund, and who we promote, right? Mark Zuckerberg's sister invested in my company. My company, to some extent, wouldn't exist, right, without the myth of white dudes in hoodies taking over the universe. So, it's not that I think it's an either or. It's that think about if we just acknowledge that every gender, every race, every major city, and even lots of rural areas, not only in America, but all over the world, have their own Mark Zuckerberg, right? Think about the amount of trillions upon probably hundreds of trillions of dollars in unrealized capital that we're leaving on the table if we literally think that only white dudes can do this. And there's no reason to think that, right? In Africa or India, they have very few white brain surgeons, right? Because that's not who's there. And certainly if you can be a brain surgeon, you can start a tech company, right? So it really comes down to who's given opportunities and what those people do with the opportunities and who they turn around and give more opportunities to. People in tech right now in Silicon Valley love pattern matching, and that's probably the wrong approach. It's really hard, though, to change who people are, how they think, and the way they want to do things. So instead of sort of wringing your hands about, oh, pattern matching is wrong, we shouldn't do it, it's bad, I'm sort of jumping past all of that and saying, okay, great, I will become part of a pattern that you can match to. And you don't have to do anything different with your biases and the way you think about the world and the way you approach the world and the fact that you only want to invest in people who look like people who've already proven to be successful, because you can do that all of a sudden and say, hey, a black woman from the Midwest like Sarah Kunst can do really well, or a Indian woman from Great Britain like Rizwana Bashir can do really well, or a black guy from Queens like Tristan Walker can do really well. And all of a sudden you're matching to so many more patterns that we're getting, literally trillions of dollars in increased economic activity, a lot of that directly in these people's pockets, because you understand that there's a huge whole world out there that you can invest in and that you can make money from. And the exception to the rule is putting money into a white dude and getting money out of it. The rule is putting money into smart, talented people and getting money out. And so really widening that pool and being as loud and as visible as possible doing it is what I want my legacy to be. The fact that I get to do what I love and be hopefully wildly successful while doing it is sort of just frosting on the cake.
So good.
Oh, yay, good.
Okay, so you've created a problem for me because normally it's a good problem. Yeah, because normally I can tell like where there were lulls and and like some dead moments, and I'm like, okay, that's not gonna make the cut. But like everything was so solid, so good. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this is fun.
Okay, so let's back up.
Say hi.
Hi, I was not expecting you.
Do you want a cameo?
If Sarah says it's okay, then it's fine with me.
Okay.
So how did y'all meet?
Hinge.
What's Hinge?
Hinge? It's like Tinder, but better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Technology.
I think it's a good thing that I don't know about that, right?
Yes, exactly. If we were like, oh, of course, Hinge, yeah, I love that. That would be also good.
All right, cool. Well, it was nice to meet ya.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
What you doing the rest of the day?
I'm gonna go eat some Mexican food.
Sounds good. Smells good out here. Well, thank you again. It was so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, bye. Have a good day. That was amazing. Okay, so I don't know how many videos she's done before, but my gut tells me that she's about to blow up on the internet and that everybody's gonna demand her to do a web series. I epically love
We should
her.
do it. Let us do it.
Like, I'm slightly a little obsessed right now. Not like a stalker mode. I'm about to leave your place right now.